story. Is that right? How quickly do our hearts change when we lift someone up with praise, only to cast them down with blame? And how often do we let our judgments, born of pride or fear, decide the worth of another human being? In a village of South Asia, life unfolded with the rhythm of the seasons. The air carried the scent of spices and earth. Children's laughter danced through narrow lanes, and elders sat beneath the banyan tree telling stories of gods and heroes. Among them lived a man whose life was woven entirely of service. He tended the sick, shared food with the hungry, and listened to the sorrows of the weary. His presence was so gentle that even the restless animals seemed calmer when he passed. The villagers adored him. Mothers whispered to their children, "Look, he is an angel among us." Farmers clasped his hands, saying, "You are a true friend of God." Even the chief of the village, proud and stern, felt blessed that such a man ate and slept among them. Their hearts swelled with pride, for in praising him they also praised themselves. If he lives here, surely our village is chosen. Surely we are special. Yet beneath a chorus of admiration lay subtle currents. Some praised him sincerely, moved by gratitude. Others spoke words of honor out of habit, hoping to bask in reflected holiness. A few felt envy. Why should one man receive so much reverence, while their own sacrifices went unnoticed? Still, the tide of praise drowned out these quieter voices. Then came the scandal. The chief's unwed daughter, trembling with fear and shame, claimed that the holy man was the father of her unborn child. Her words fell like a stone into still water, sending ripples of shock through the village. The mothers, who once looked upon him with tender admiration, now felt a sharp sting in their hearts. Their trust shattered like clay pots dropped upon stone. Protective instincts rose within them, and in their anger they cried out, their voices trembling with both rage and wounded disappointment. The young men, restless and eager to prove loyalty to the chief, found themselves swept into the storm. They shouted louder than anyone else, their insults echoing through the village square. In truth, many feared suspicion might fall upon their own shoulders, and so they hurled words like stones, hoping their fury would shield them from doubt. Even the elders, who had long counseled patience and wisdom beneath the shade of the banyan tree, now lowered their eyes and muttered bitterly. Their pride was bruised, their judgment clouded. "We were deceived," they whispered. "This man is no saint, but a hypocrite." Their voices carried not only anger but also the sorrow of having believed too deeply. And yet, to every insult, every stone, the man simply replied, "Is that right?" His voice was calm, neither defensive nor bitter, as if he were listening to the wind rather than to human fury. Yeah, passe. The child grew, the scandal faded into routine gossip, and the villagers carried on with their lives. But the chief's daughter, burdened by guilt, fell ill with an incurable disease. On her deathbed, her voice cracked with confession. "May God forgive me. I lied. He was never the father. It was another man." The revelation struck the village like thunder. Shame flooded their hearts. The chief wept, realizing his pride had fueled injustice. Mothers felt the sting of their own cruelty. The young men remembered the stones they had thrown and trembled at their own eagerness to condemn. Even the elders, once so certain, now bowed their heads in silence, tasting the bitterness of regret. Once again, they gathered around the holy man's hut, but this time with tears and reverence. "You are divine. You are celestial. Forgive us." Their voices shook with repentance, desperate to restore what they had broken. And again, the man replied softly, "Is that right?" Reflection. The villagers learned that their praise and their blame were both mirrors of their own hearts, not of the man himself. He remained steady, untouched by their shifting winds. And so the story whispers to us today. When others shower us with praise, do we let our ego swell? When we are criticized or falsely accused, do we collapse in anger or despair? Can we, like the holy man, meet both admiration and condemnation with gentle equanimity. Life in the modern world is no different from that village. Social media applause, workplace recognition, family expectations. They rise and fall like tides. The question is not whether people will praise or blame us, but whether we can remain anchored in truth. Perhaps the real practice is to ask ourselves, do I need others' voices to know my worth? Can I breathe calmly when misunderstood? Can I let go of the ego's hunger for titles and approval and rest in quiet integrity? The story leaves us with a simple, tender reminder. Praise and blame are passing clouds. What matters is the sky within us, vast, clear, and unshaken.